Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to more of my second channel videos here. Welcome back to more of the series around the era of the Gilded Age here. So, in today's video, we're going to also be doing another biographic video here, in which today, what we're going to be checking out today here is, we're going to be looking at, Thomas Edison here. This is, and to those who don't know who he is here, he was basically the, famous inventor who invented, basically the famous, light bulb that he created back in 1879 here. That is produces more about that he created his own fame here. That was basically where the light is basically produced, where there's a lot of energy in it here. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video here. And yeah, but before we get into this video, if you guys haven't yet, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Don't forget to comment and turn on the bell notifications. That way you get notified by every video that I'll be posting in the channel. And yeah, no, let's get right into the video. Alright, let's do this. Here, let's watch Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison.
This is again more by the Daily Bellringer,
Hello,
by the
welcome
way.
to the Daily Bellringer. Please don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the questions down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out dailybellringer.com where you'll find more resources that go with many of the Bellringer videos. Thomas Edison was an American inventor who was a pioneer in the use of electrical power.
Yep.
He was one of the first to use the idea of organized science, working with research teams to develop new innovations.
Yeah, like the light
Some of the
bulb
inventions
here,
he and his teams developed were the phonograph, or basically the record player, motion picture cameras, and of course the light bulb. Edison was born February 11th, 1847 in Milan, Ohio, but spent his childhood growing up in Fort Huron, Michigan. He was the youngest of 7 children.
Okay.
He only attended school for a short time as his mother was a former school teacher and basically homeschooled him. From a very young age, Edison was fascinated with new technologies and was constantly conducting his own home experiments, a passion he carried with him for his entire life. At the age of 12, Edison suffered a terrible fever and ear infection, which made him go completely deaf in one ear, and he could barely hear out of the other.
Yeah, that's
Interestingly,
pretty bad.
Edison later attributed his inability to hear as one of the key reasons for his success, as he said it helped him to focus more and avoid distractions when working on new inventions. As a teenager, Edison learned to be a telegraph operator, and at the age of 19 in 1866...
Yeah, if you guys also seen my last video here where I did cover also more about the Gilded Age here, I also did indeed talk about also the telegraphs and basically the communications here that were connected say to Washington DC to Baltimore here, that was connected from there from the 1860s into 1870s here, and where it's also with telegraphs and telephones that was also created by those of of Alexander Graham Bell here, as well as before then here, before the development of Morse code here back in 1832, just to also give you also a little heads up here also.
He moved to Louisville, Kentucky, where he monitored the telegraph for the Western Union.
Yep.
But he was fired from that job for conducting battery experiments while at work, and he spilled sulfuric acid on his boss's desk.
Ooh.
In 1869, Edison received his first patent for an electric vote recorder. A patent is authority given by the government to an inventor to be the sole or only person with the right to make or use their invention or profit from it. And patents are usually for a set amount of time, and later other companies or people can copy the invention. Edison would go on to receive over 1,000 patents during his career.
Right.
Soon after, Edison moved to New York City and worked as an electrical engineer, continually working on more inventions.
Okay.
On Christmas Day, 1871, Edison, who was 24 years old, married Mary Stilwell, who was only 16. They would go on to have 3 children together.
Yeah.
But it was during this time he developed a new telegraph system that allowed for multiple messages to be sent at one time. Western Union bought the invention for $10,000, which would be over $200,000 in today's money.
Right. It's also kind of also worth noting here also the telegraphs and the communicated messages also, as a little side note also here, that it was also used as basically as also used as an advantage here for communication center, also for say for example into the north here, how they use mostly the telegraph, the Morse code here, that they mostly used during around into the Civil War here. So you could just basically click like it in a few times here until you get like basically the message that is received back here, and until you get all to the information that you need to provide here. That's what you can, and it's just an idea that I can also share to you guys.
In 1876, Edison used that money to open the first industrial research laboratory in America, located at Menlo Park, New Jersey. Edison was now running a business with a staff of other inventors whose primary objective was to conduct research and develop new technologies. Legally, any invention coming out of the Menlo Park lab would be patented to Edison's name, and Edison worked feverishly. His average workday was 16 hours, and he became known as the Wizard of Menlo Park as the laboratory began to develop amazing new technologies. Edison's first invention that gained him public fame was the phonograph, which could record and play back sound. In 1878, Edison traveled to Washington, D.C. and demonstrated the device for President Rutherford B. Hayes. In 1879, Edison demonstrated what many attribute as his greatest invention, the incandescent light bulb. Although, I must note, Edison did not invent the light bulb. British inventor Warren de la Rue actually made a light bulb in 1840, but it was too expensive to mass produce. What Edison and his team of researchers did was develop a light bulb that was economical and could be mass produced. By 1880, Edison founded the Edison Illuminating Company, which began to develop and install a system of distributing electricity to homes and businesses. In 1884, Thomas Edison's wife, Mary, died at the age of 29 from what is believed to have been a brain tumor. Edison remarried 2 years later to Mina Miller, and together they would have 3 children. By the early 1890s, Edison's laboratory introduced the first motion picture camera, which they called the kinetograph. The
kinetograph here. Okay.
The device was only capable of recording short clips, but
like the kinetograph that Edison had basically created here. Yeah, like it's like basically it's meant to like only like project mostly like needs to record like a lot of videos here. That's that basically takes also, but it's mostly that they created the way they created back then. It was more, it's all in like black and white here. And it's pretty old cameras that they used that there were created here than like the cameras that we do have now here.
Soon after, Edison opened Edison Studios, which was America's first film production company. As technology improved, longer and longer films were able to be recorded. Edison's technologies extended into the development of batteries, X-rays, communications, chemicals, and even developing tires for newly introduced automobiles. Edison spent his final years continuing to invent and experiment, splitting his time between his home in New Jersey and his winter retreat in Fort Myers, Florida. Thomas Edison died October 18, 1931, at his Glenmount estate in West Orange, New Jersey. He was 84 years old. So with that, hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.
Alright, that was it. Alright, okay, so I think that was pretty much about it here. So that was basically it here. That was the video of about Thomas Edison here. So yeah, okay. So like I said before here, and around as early when Thomas Edison, when he after let's recap also everything here. When Thomas Edison, when he was after he was born here and moved to Michigan here, he then also later also basically started creating his own inventions here, including the phonograph, he started creating his own telegrams here until he married up with his wife here in Madison here, until he may have later on 3 children. And and he was also given Patriot Awards here also here, and pageants also to give basically try to give popularity and fame also to his new created his inventions here, especially later on also between in 18 to get fame from Rutherford B. Hayes between 1878 and 1879. And and then he wasn't the first, and it also really interesting here that he wasn't also the first to invented the light bulb here. That was actually back in 1831 here by the British creator Alison Morris here, who is where the British officials have been trying to come up with ways to develop like electricity to go into the light bulb here. That was then later brought the concept, that idea later to Thomas Edison here, and where he created a different type of version of different of light bulbs here, and yeah, no, and then later on, by the 1890s here, then again, Thomas Edison had also later also created also his kinetic photograph here, which is mostly meant to be like basically record videos here. Yeah, and after when he also joined like the kinetic transit like a company here that he also had entered here, and also like this was also the day like also years like after his wife had died here, and then till he married Maurice here until he had like four more other children here, and yeah, no, and before all before he died in 1931 here, and yeah, so but anyways, yeah, that was basically about the whole video here. Yeah, so I hope you guys basically enjoyed this video here, and if you guys did here, if you wanted me to see more history content like this here, then yeah, here, then yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys into the more in this video here, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video here. If you guys did, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new, don't forget to comment and turn on the bell notifications, that way you get notified by every video that I'll be posting in the channel, and yeah, no, and I guess I'll see you guys in my next video here, so Aaron the History Buff, out.